early sci-fi and horror films were well known for using the son of concept as a sequel, an idea that would eventually make its way into the Godzilla franchise's Showa and Heisei eras. Yet in both cases, the young ones were not the actual offspring of their respective Godzillas. Instead, they were of the same species and were adopted or cared for by their adults. But is there a possible true father and son relationship in the Millennium era between MechaGodzilla or Kiryu and the Godzilla from their shared films? Released in 2002, Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla is part of a timeline where Japan was initially devastated by Godzilla in 1954, until his demise at the hands of Dr. Serizawa and the Oxygen Destroyer. In the Showa era's Gojira, the monster skeleton was completely destroyed by the weapon, but in this timeline, when the monster was killed, his skeleton remained. After the encounter, other kaiju would attack Japan periodically, with most of them either defeated or driven off until a new Godzilla would appear in 1999. Masers and other traditional weapons that worked on the other monsters were ineffective on this new Godzilla, so to defend the homeland, the current Mecha-G, or Kiryu, is built around the skeleton of the original Gojira. But the plan goes awry when the two monsters clash and Kiryu goes haywire after hearing the roar of this new or second Godzilla. What they didn't account for in building Mecha-G was that Gojira's ghost or spirit would be attached to the skeleton. But is this new Godzilla drawn to Kiryu because it's one of its own kind, or is there a closer relationship that isn't fleshed out or exposed in the film? According to the book Godzilla Tokyo SOS Fantastic Collection, Masaki Tezuka and Shogo Tomiyama, the director and producer of the Kiryu Saga films, their interpretation is that the current Godzilla is in fact the son of the 1954 Godzilla and therefore of Kiryu. I can't find any translations of the book unfortunately, but Wikizilla does note that the book would go on to say that this relationship is not necessarily canon. However, the films never present any evidence to the contrary, and with the director and producer both seeing this as reasonable, do what you will with your own headcanon. The Kiryu films, as mentioned, are part of their own extensive universe, including, at the very least, the events and or monsters from Mothra, War of the Gargantuas, Space Amoeba, Rodan, Baron, Atragon, Dogora, Frankenstein vs. Baragon, King Kong Escapes, and the 1954 Gojira. And just in case you're wondering if that would make these two guys brothers or stepbrothers, unfortunately, no. There is no Manila present in any of these films. And the same is true for the one from Final Wars. The movies share an era, but are not connected. What are your thoughts on this possible son of the Big G? Should Kiryu contain the spirit of this Millennium G's father, or just the soul of another member of its species? Try out one of these videos to learn more about the alternate ending to Godzilla vs. Mecha-G, or the end credit scene that many have missed from Tokyo SOS. Thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you next time.